welcome back to our channel. We're so excited today, huh, Deb?
I know, we're off to the Ocean State Paracon.
Woohoo! And we missed it last year, of course, because of COVID.
Yeah,
They didn't have
really
it.
sad.
And it's unfortunate. Every year they do these great charities and raise a lot of money. This year, Camp Braveheart.
Yes. And that's amazing because children that are grieving can go there and they really help them a lot, you know. So Ken always chooses the best charities. So you feel like you're really a part of something special. And it is a part of something special because everyone in the paranormal just gets together. And when they do, the energy is absolutely amazing.
That's because we all see each other on Facebook, but how often do we get to actually be in the same room?
Exactly. You don't get to see everybody. So, and like you said, like last year they canceled it, so we didn't get to see anybody. So this is like, it's always magical to me. It's always magical when we all get together from the paranormal, and we're going to try to do some special interviews. We're going to talk to Danny. Danny was on our Haunted Dolls episode.
Danny Perez and Lauren, if Lauren should be coming with him.
Yeah, and he's going to talk about, he's going to have some more of his haunted items with him, and they're always amazing.
Oh my God, he gets the creepiest stuff.
Yes, I'm excited about that. So we'll do a few little interviews here and just kind of share a little bit of the magic with you guys, and I think you're going to love it.
Yeah.
So
what do you say?
Let's do this.
Let's do this.
Yep. With us, yeah. So we are here at Ocean State Paracon. He's going to show us some of his haunted items that he collects. These are amazing guys, so get ready.
Yeah, he's got an awesome collection.
Yeah, amazing.
I'll show you a couple of things.
Yeah.
We'll start over here. This is the most recent piece right here. I got a phone call from a guy. He says, listen, I really need help quick. I was like, what do you have? He says, well, it's a human skull that was used for dark black magic rituals. In fact, to the point of when you see this piece that's cut out, that was fashioned into a sacrificial dagger and used. Once it was removed from the house, things went back to normal, and now it's in our parlor at home. And things are normal there.
Wow.
We'll move over to the next piece over here. This is actually a Crying Boy painting by Giovanni Bragolin. Giovanni Bragolin, back in the 1950s and 1960s, he painted a bunch of these paintings with these orphan kids. He exaggerated the eyes and made them cry, and became very popular in England. And it's said to have a curse. Now, the curse happened when the orphanage that the orphans lived in burned to the ground with the orphans in it, hence bringing upon the curse of fire. Now, it is said that a lot of the houses that these paintings were in burned to the ground, but the paintings survived unscathed. Now, I get a phone call from a woman in Jersey. She's an art dealer, and she says, hey, I have an original Giovanni Bragolin. I can't put it in my art gallery because I'm afraid it will burn to the ground. It's in my storage locker now, and I'm getting good stuff in my storage locker. I'm afraid that's gonna burn. Could you help me? I said, okay, sure. So we went down to Jersey to pick it up, and she's like, I'm really sorry that it smells. I'm like, excuse me, it smells? And she's like, yeah, it smells like smoke because the estate that I got it from burned to the ground. Now, you can Google the Crying Boys and things like that. There's a lot of information out there. Now, I believe he painted 60-something original paintings. This isn't original, but what makes this more rare is the fact that it's one of the few crying girl paintings that he did. I think he did 2 or 3 of them, this being one of them. And to be safe, we keep it next to the fireplace. So I don't know if that helps or makes it worse, but nothing's ever happened, knock on wood. So, what would you guys like to know about next?
Well, they're all fascinating.
Okay.
I do like the foot.
Ah, the foot. Okay, this is a foot of an 8-year-old boy from Haiti. Now, it is in Haiti. They believe in voodoo and things like that. It's real to them, and the zombies. Now, it is said to dispose of a zombie, you cut the zombie up into pieces and you disperse of it. And when you disperse of it, whoever gets the pieces is considered very prosperous. If, for instance, if you have one in your farmer, your crops are going to be amazing that year. It's a very prestigious thing to have. So I was selling a car on Craigslist, and some Haitians from Providence came down at very, very broken English. It was actually like a clown car, because like 12 of them came out of this little car at once. And they saw my hearse in the garage, and they were like, ho ho, bad mojo, man. So, you be here in an hour? I was like, yeah, I live here. And so they left and they came back and they told me the story. They're like, good mojo. And I was like, okay, thank you. I'll give you a discount on the car now. So it worked out, and I don't know if it's true or not, but it is what it is. Freeman. Basically, what happens is you take the pick and it goes right there, and then you give it a nice little tap. And other than a black eye, the only other side effect is you drool for the rest of your life. Very barbaric. Actually, Walter Freeman, he had a bus that he would travel the country and do traveling lobotomies. He actually gave a lobotomy to one of the Kennedys.
Oh, wow.
Now, the really weird thing is the fact that my wife Lauren she was an adopted child, and she recently looked in and found out all about her past and stuff like that. She was a Freeman. Now, looking at the picture that we found of her father looks just like Walter Freeman. So we're trying to do some lineage on that. I mean, you put them side by side, it's like, it looks like a relation, so,
I forget what you said.
This piece here is glasses from a little girl who was brutally murdered back in the late 60s, early 70s. This was actually in an evidence locker, and strange things in the precinct were happening. And it just kept getting worse and worse until it was removed from the facility. Craziness.
Alright guys, this is so exciting. We have Cody and Satorie. Hi! This is amazing. They collect these amazing objects, so they're going to tell us about a couple of them. So do you want to start with Jolene?
Yeah. Of course. So Jolene was given to us by the owner of a preschool in Connecticut. She brought Jolene in and just thought it was a great time for the children to play with her. They thought the children would love her, and they did. The children would share toys with her, would start talking to her, and it was like an imaginary friend that they were attached to. And it just seemed perfectly great. The owner didn't think anything of it. She didn't really believe in the paranormal, to be honest, until the children started running up to her and screaming that Jolene was being mean to them, calling them names. And preschoolers should not know some of the names that she was reciting.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Refusing to share toys and just being really rude. So the owner thought, okay, maybe it's just a childlike imagination, sits her on a chair and locks up for the night. She goes back in the next day and notices that Jolene is no longer in her chair. She's across the room sitting with a circle of toys. I believe it was after a weekend. And so she called everybody up and thought it was a prank, and all the teachers said, you're the only one with the key, so how could we have gotten in to prank you?
Oh my God.
So she cleans everything up and sits Jolene on the chair, perfectly normal day, closes up, comes back the next time, and notices that Jolene's again not in her chair. She's in a completely different area, in a different position with toys. So the owner was so scared that she called Cody and pretty much told him, the family called Cody and notified him that they're not going to go inside the preschool until she is removed because they were not very fond of her. So Cody had to go and pick her up before they even entered the building. And she moves a lot in the museum. She's moved several times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but she doesn't like cameras. She won't move in front of the camera. We have security in the museum, and after she moved the first time, the big time in our museum, we had to change a light bulb. And we tried recreating the situation that's in the preschool. She was sitting on like a metal chair, a folding chair, and we needed a chair to change the light bulb. So Satorie picks her up, puts her on the floor, 2 minutes, we change the light bulb on the other side, come back, and she's gone. So we're like, what?
Oh my God.
So we run around, and she's sitting in one of our office swivel chairs where we do our
With
live
her legs
streams.
crossed. Her legs were crossed and everything.
She had to cross 2 cameras, but nothing on the video. So after that, I put a camera right on her, and she would do nothing for like months.
But if you take it away, she'll be upside down, she'll be somewhere else. I like to say she teleports to make him mad.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You can't even like sneak a hidden camera.
I know, right?
somewhere,
Camera
No,
shot. I
we
had to
just
get a
have to-
nanny cam or something.
She actually lost her own shoe because she moved one day and her shoe went missing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why she's
Oh, I
missing
said that to you earlier.
Yes, the missing shoe. Well, it's funny because, like, I just, out of all the items, I felt the strongest attraction to her. I felt the strongest energy. I don't know if it's because I work in a preschool, but I just really felt it.
Oh, yeah.
Some people have come over and been like, I feel like I'm supposed to hug her and protect her and be around her a lot. So it's strange that you say that.
Yeah.
I don't get that vibe from her.
Yeah.
How about a haunted African tribesman?
Yeah, that's interesting. So, New Orleans area. So, this gentleman, he owns a little shop in New Orleans, and his ancestor from Africa, and he brought this mask over along with 5 others about 25 years ago now. And this mask, out of the 6 that he had, whenever he would hold it, he would feel very drained and just not comfortable. Even if it belonged to his family members, but he still didn't want anything to do with it because he just felt so off. Start seeing shadow figures. The whole shop is filling up with this campfire smell that he can't explain. It's scaring the customers that are coming in. So it's like, I need to wrap this up in something so I don't touch it and put it away. And when I came to interview him, because we were learning about voodoo, he brings this out and says, you can take this home, I don't want it. So donates it to the museum, and every object that comes in, we put it through a quarantine period. Sit it in a room by itself, equipment around and cameras, just leave it going for like 2 weeks and just see what happens. And 9 times out of 10, nothing happens with this stuff. Nothing happens. This one, right away, I mean, on the way home, the whole car fills up with this smell that we can't explain. Campfire. It smells like a fire's in the back seat.
Wow.
And we can't explain it. We tried recreating it by putting it in different temperature environments and humidity, because wood can release smells on its own, but we couldn't recreate it. We just did an event in Maine where we had a big tent set up.
A bunch of people started running out of the tent saying it smelled too much like fire, they couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thought there was a fire, goes to the building owner, he's checking the walls, nothing. It was only the tent. So really strange EMF readings off of it that we can't explain.
We did hear a voice too. I like to say goodnight to the museum when we leave, and as we left I said goodnight, and from the mask it was a big echoing voice, goodnight, but he had such a thick accent, like he didn't know what I was saying, but he heard me say
Just
it.
repeating.
He was just repeating it to let me know he's there, so it made me happy.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think, there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to haunted objects, and I think it's a very broad term. I think at least with the experiences we've had, we've dealt with a lot of people and talking to people, and it seems like the majority of the stuff we have was just stuff that people loved. They loved it in life, and they're just checking in on it. And unfortunately, at least with the Victorian dolls, they're ending up in secondhand stores, and people are purchasing them. And maybe the individuals that own these at one time, they're checking in on their stuff, and maybe they don't like their new owner. Maybe they just don't like it. It's not a good fit. So that's when stuff starts happening to try scaring them and get rid of it.
What about the Island of the Dolls?
Island of the Dolls. So, of course, it's a very famous location, and the whole story with all those dolls is, little girls around there, and people would bring dolls as gifts. So this one investigative team went there and brought a doll, investigated with it, left it there, goes back home. A year later, they return, find the doll, now has nails in it and everything else.
Yeah.
And they take it back home with them a year later, and stuff starts happening inside of their house now. And of course they don't want it because they think that some curse was put
They
on it.
didn't realize it was actually might have worked.
Right.
So.
So when we was talking to him, I said, why the heck did you take it home? You should have left it there.
Exactly.
So we're debating if, Satorie's dad's been out there once or twice. So if he goes out again, I think we're going to give it to him to take it
We're gonna
back.
bring it back.
Yeah.
Good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff, not everything, we have literally hundreds of things. This isn't just everything we have, but is all of it haunted? We don't think so. I think, psychological things are tricky when it comes to this. But either way, as long as we're helping the person, if they truly believe something's with it, and by removing it, their problems are fixed, then I guess it's a win for us,
Exactly.
I love what you guys do.
Yeah, we love telling the stories, history.
Thank you so much for your interest.
Thank you for sharing with our viewers.
Absolutely, we love it. We love your channel too. It's awesome.
Oh, thanks.
Absolutely.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, it's great. Yep.
Thank you guys. We appreciate it.
No problem.
This lady's right here.
Alright guys, so we just came back over to Danny's items. We just wanted to see if the K2 meter would go off with any of them because they're really active items. So this is the skull.
Do you want to try putting
Alright,
a coin
so-
in there? I got it done.
No, I got it. Look at this. This is going crazy. The skull is going crazy. Alright. Down here. Nothing at the foot.
Nothing at the foot.
Nothing at the brain's going off.
There's brain activity, guys.
Brain activity, guys. Nothing at the cuffs. Nothing at that. The glasses are going off, guys. All the personal items. You notice all the personal items that's going on?
Imagine if we put the glasses on the brain.
The lobotomy.
Nothing.
Not even the painting. I'm surprised. I thought sure the painting would go off. What about the mirror? The scry mirror, that was belonged to H.P. Lovecraft, I think he said. How cool is that? Nothing from that. I think.
Nothing,
No.
guys. Back
So
over to
guys-
the skull. Let's see. Oh wow. The skull and the brain.
Isn't that amazing though, guys?
So the most
Skull,
human pieces.
the brain.
Well,
Yeah.
not the foot.
Well, these were ashes. Ashes in the middle.
Isn't that crazy,
Those have
guys?
some a little bit.
Everything but that foot.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
So Danny's items are really active. So that was kind of cool. I just wanted to try that as an experiment. I hope you guys can hear us through this video with all the background noise. But yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
So Ocean State Paracon, that was so much fun.
Oh my God, yeah.
I really enjoyed myself. It was so nice to see everybody again in person and our interviews.
Some of our fans were there coming up to us.
Yeah.
We watch you guys on
It's
YouTube.
pretty cool.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah, we appreciate that. So we interviewed Cody and Satorie, the paranormal couple. They have this doll, Jolene. Jolene was, oh my Lord.
Freaky people.
I felt so much energy coming from her. Out of all the things they had, that's what I felt the most from. I didn't get any hits on the K2 from her, but remember we went over to Danny's spot, most of his items, the K2 was going crazy. So,
And he had some strange items, didn't he?
yeah, that
Oh my
was
God.
insane. And you know, we ran into Keith again.
Keith and Carl.
Keith and Carl. Carl was in the video this time. So
Yeah.
that's amazing that we had both of them like this time. And it's funny how we keep running into Keith. And he had his wife with him this time. So that was really nice. We got to see Sandra as well.
Yeah, she's so nice.
She is. So it was all in all, it was an amazing, magical day. And I had just had so much fun.
Yeah.
As usual.
It was. I love listening to their lectures,
I know.
checking out everyone's tables.
Yeah, they actually did a special panel. It was Women in the Paranormal. And that just touched my heart that Ken did that and set that up.
Mm-hmm.
How important we are in the paranormal. He's really giving us that recognition. And I was close to tears so many times on that panel. Like just,
Some of the stories of
It
how they got
really
into the
was-
field, you know?
yeah, it was amazing. It really was. But I don't know, we're on to our next adventure, whatever that may be. We got some really cool things planned for you guys. We'll do some more true crime. Make sure you let us know what you want to see for true crime. Something from around here would be good. But you know, be sure to subscribe. Once we get to 300, we might go live and do something really, really cool for you guys. So let's get those subscribers up, and you know, that way you'll get all your messages. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. We love you guys, and be sure to share the love.
All right, bye.